and another video from Dave. What's up, YouTube? This is Dave signing off from White 7. This is another video to do with American Horror Story Season 6, Episode 3, Chapter 3 review, and another video from Dave. And yeah, pretty much this is my weekly review for American Horror Story, my Roanoke Nightmare. This is actually Episode 3. It's called Chapter 3. But before I get into the review, the reason I am filming the video the way I am, I'm using my tablet. I've been having a lot of problems ever since I got this camera. I mean, it's been a nuisance, this camera. Now it completely won't work with the program that you're supposed to be using it for. And some guy, I was looking on a YouTube channel, with he was having the same issue with the new update for Windows 10. And a list of other people are having that problem, and he gives you an alternative, but the new editing software, or the new camera software is just fucking garbage. So I don't know, what I'm going to do. I'll be able to use this still for the podcast, but for right now, until they fix it with Windows 10, with all these fucking updates you always get, I hate fucking updates. Every time there's an update, it seems like it fixes something and ruins something else. Well, it really fucked with this camera now, and I believe Windows 10 is just a big problem with this camera. So for right now, until they fix that shit or I find another alternative other than the one that guy gave me, because I didn't care for that, I will be using my tablet. I still want to bring you guys reviews, and I got to do it this way. I don't think it's that bad. I've had some quality issues on my channel before because I was using my old phone. I understand that, but this ain't bad, So if people want to bitch about this, then I can't do no reviews until I get that fixed, which will be a while probably from now until they update the fucking thing or figure out an alternative. It's just annoying. It's getting to that point. But yeah, let's get an American Horror Story review. So last night, I would say I liked last week's better, but this was really good too. I could see people liking this one better than last week. See, they're both good episodes, but I just chose last week's episode. I like the crazy nurses. I thought that shit was cool. But this episode, this week, is mainly focused on, from last week when she lost her daughter. They seen her daughter's hoodie up in the tree at the end of the episode. Well, it picks up right from there, and they basically have the cops looking for her daughter, and they have a search party. They have dogs, and the girl's been missing for a long time. So this basically focuses on that and the butcher. We actually get to meet the butcher, and we actually get to see what the fuck is going on with Lady Gaga. Because a lot of people have been saying Lady Gaga's in the show, and I just wasn't sure if that character was Lady Gaga, and it was. The witch, I believe it's a witch, is Lady Gaga, the one that controls the butcher. In this episode, you'll see a part where she gives the butcher, Kathy Bates, she gives her the heart, and she wants to, I guess she takes her soul or something, and she's the witch. But that's Lady Gaga, and you'll see a lot of crazy shit this episode. I wouldn't see them. I never thought you'd see that on TV. One thing you guys gotta understand: back in the day, you wouldn't see half the shit they put on TV nowadays. They let it just slide. I mean, you literally got a scene. I mean, I know you don't see the people doing it, but you got people jerking off to Lady Gaga and Cuba Gooding Jr. fucking banging. He's banging Lady Gaga. and they're jerking off. The characters. Matt and whatever I don't know the name of Lady Gaga. I just call her the witch or whatever. But if you know the name of her, just tell in the comment section. I didn't really look that up yet. I mean, I didn't really hear the name of her. It's just I guess they have some name for her. I don't know. But basically, this episode's about, Lee finding her kid. You get to meet a new character that goes by the name of Cricket. Cricket is, he's a psychic, but he will help, has helped other families in that area and other areas find missing children, but there's something to him. I knew it was too good to be true. This guy just shows up. He's like, yeah, I was watching CNN at a cafe, and I saw your case. That's what he tells her. And he comes in, to their house, just walks in, Like, some of this shit's just crazy. You just don't let some dude just walk into your fucking house. I mean, come on. You knock that motherfucker the fuck out. I mean, like, be like, what the fuck you coming to my house for? Who are you? You know? But he's a very interesting character. I like him. I noticed one thing he does when he's, like looking for, like, to like, catch a feeling. Like, to catch some kind of, like, you know, sense that's going on with his psychic abilities. He will, like, you know, tap his stick on the ground and he goes, or something like that, and he starts feeling shit, like feeling shit out and getting, you know, some senses to him and stuff. So I think he's a good character, but there's this, you know, like a little scam behind him. He wants like 25 grand. He's like, yeah, I can find your daughter. He's like, 25 grand, you know, and I just think it's really funny. You know, you got, when I was looking at this episode, you got a cop that just got kicked off the force, has no job, but she's just going to give this guy 25 grand. Like, she just got it sitting there. Oh, here's your 25 grand. I got you. I mean, what? You know, somebody's out of work, you know, is dealing with a drug problem, recovered drug problem, I guess. She went back to the booze last episode. So I'm just saying, like, she just has 25 grand just sitting there. But anyways, that's besides the point. So this episode, basically, like I said, it starts off with, you know, the missing child, her daughter. They find the hoodie. It goes from them searching for days for the kid, and then her husband, he comes back around, Mason, and he's basically looking for the kid with her at first, and then he says, you know, he's like, cut the bullshit. He's like, where's the kid? You took the kid in the first place. Why are you hiding her? Because she's like, I wouldn't do this to our daughter. And then he gets pissed off, throws her on the ground, which I thought was fucked up, throws her on the ground, and then he leaves. But they go to a part where, you know, they have them, like, you know, it goes to a different scene, but then they get a call, and they show her in bed, sleeping. Lee's sleeping. But they say, they said, Lee, wake up, or something. They found a body, and they're thinking maybe it's a kid. You know, they don't know what's going on. So they get to the place where all the police are and everything, and the actual body's at. And it's this, like, body on it, like, I guess like a wheel or something, burnt to a wheel, like a wooden wheel, or whatever the fuck it was. And they give Lee the ring, and it's fucking Mason. Now, what I found was interesting with this part, where I think they're going to go with this. This is just my predictions. Later, a little bit later on the show, next couple scenes or whatever, they show Matt and Shelby watching the cameras, and they're like, because he set up all them cameras, and you actually see Lee leave 15 minutes after Mason left, after their fight, which, you know, she acted like she was, or, you know, I don't think she acted. I think what it is, I think the ghosts are taking control of them, and they're doing this shit. That's what I think. That's what I think's going to happen. I think a lot of these characters, because if you've seen kind of like indications of it through this episode. You've seen it with Lee leaving, and she don't know what's happening. She probably killed fucking Mason. Then you got Cuba Gooding Jr. later on in the episode screwing Lady Gaga, and he don't remember shit either, you know? So I think these ghosts are going to take control of them, and they're the ones actually doing the fucking killing. That's what I think's going to happen. But let's see. The only thing that would kind of, you know, make that prediction not maybe possible, because they got, you know, the actual people that are, you know, talking like it's a real thing, you know, so that could throw it off there. But that's where I think they're going with it. I think they were the ones that were actually, you know, taken over by the ghost and doing shit. I could just see it already. I've seen so many damn horror movies. I could be wrong. Let's see if I'm right later on. So basically, you got that after the whole thing with the with Mason getting burnt to you know, a crisp on the fucking wheel, and then it goes from I know one part they're looking for I think this is a little bit earlier. I forgot to mention this part. They run up on this house, and they see, like, these, you know, different, like, dolls with body parts and a pig's head with doll parts. Really creepy shit. So then they end up going into the house, and it's like a fucking nasty-ass fucking house. It looks like it's condemned. And then they go to a barn, and these fucking weirdo fucking hillbilly kids are fucking milking, like sucking on the milk of a fucking boar. You know, I'm like, ugh. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're screaming her daughter's name. You know, that's all they can say. And they're basically, you know, when they bring them in, you know, and they have them at the police station, they're basically like inbreds that lived out there by themselves forever. And they assume that the family left them behind. They can barely say anything. You know, they're just fucking kind of like, you know, they've never been around people. Kind of remind me of, if you ever saw the movie Mama. They're not even, these kids from Mama are actually better than these kids. You know, the ones that crawl like little fucking spiders, if you ever saw that movie. Those kids are actually more fucking put together than these kids fucking sucking on a fucking boar. Basically you had all that shit that went on. And then later on, they actually tell you the story of the butcher. You actually learn the story. They do a seance first. They do a seance, and it's really cool. That's like one of the best parts in the episode, is the seance where they actually encounter the butcher, and she's breaking the windows out and stuff. Then the guy asks for the 25 grand. Then the next day she goes and brings him the 25 grand. And then he goes looking for her daughter. And they actually, I think they, at that part, or a little bit before that, they show the story of the butcher. And the butcher basically, she was put into this like mask with like spikes on it. And she was kind of turned against, I guess, by her own people. And her son even turned on her. And then all of a sudden, when she gets the power from Lady Gaga, you know, she eats the heart. She becomes this like, you know, I guess like paranormal entity or something, and she just goes and fucks people up. She's slitting their fucking throats at this like dinner party. Then her son, I don't think she kills her son that I've seen, unless he dies later on, but she kills everybody there, and she basically is there to like take back her land and protect her land, you know, and then she has Lady Gaga around like doing weird shit, and whispering in her ear, and fucking people. I mean, that's what she does, and they fucking torture people. So they have all that going, but they, you know, when they meet them in the woods, that's where you have the part with Cuba Gooding Jr. banging Lady Gaga and the people jerking off. Like I said, I can't believe shit like that's on TV nowadays. It's just crazy to see stuff like that. I mean, but, you know, it's a new day and age. We got The Exorcist on fucking Fox. I mean, come on. I want to really see where that's going to go, but that's a whole other story. I just want to see how far they're going to go with that. But, I mean, you got people jerking off on TV. Yeah, they didn't show it, but anybody with a fucking mind can understand what's going on. I mean, come on. But they agree to, well, Shelby don't agree, but Matt agrees without Shelby's consent that they will leave if they give the kid back, you know, from Priscilla, because Priscilla's got the kid. I believe that's her name, the little ghost Priscilla, that we really didn't get to see yet. And we learned that Priscilla has the kid off grounds, and Kathy Bates, the butcher, won't leave the grounds. So, but she's going to get the kid somehow or some shit. I don't know. So, basically from there, you have, you know, she sees Matt screwing Lady Gaga. Then they go back to the house. And then, all of a sudden, the police are there. They show up, arrest Lee. She's mad at fucking Matt, and that's that. So, I assume Shelby, she says something to him at the end of the episode. I just can't remember. She says, "Oh, I forgot." Or so she says, "I don't know." That's what she says. Something like that. I don't know. Like, she's like, "Why is Lee going to jail?" I don't know, because he's saying, because he said, "I don't remember." She's like, "I don't know," or she said she don't remember, or something like. She said something like that at the end of the episode. I did this review last night, but the camera fucked up. I'm just so fucking pissed. But pretty much for the most part, I like the new addition to the show. I thought he was a really good character, Cricket. Lady Gaga's part, they're going on a whole different direction with her. She was a very, you know, main focus last season. She was a vampire, fucking, you know, porn star. That's what I took it as. She's screwing in every fucking scene. She's in a whole, I mean, she's kind of creepy looking. She's, you know, she's not something I would want to run into in the woods, you know. And then I like Kathy Bates' part as the butcher. They did a great job with that. I like her role this year. I liked her role last year. She was one of the ones and the transvestite guy that saved the show last year for what it was. For what it was. I mean, it wasn't the best season of American Horror Story, but I liked Kathy Bates' role, and I like her role a lot more in this one. This season's good. I have to say, I see some people saying they don't like this part where they do like the whole filming, you know, and they have the, you know, the real, the people in the story, the people out of the story. It's just something different they're doing. I saw somebody, but yeah, what I was saying, I had technical difficulty, but what I was saying, I seen somebody actually complaining about that, and it's something different. I mean, when it really comes down to it, was it really something different? No, it's something different for the show. But when it comes to actual movies, they do a lot of this type of shit, where the actual story of the person's telling the story. I've seen that done in movies. We've seen zombie movies. We've seen fucking vampire movies. We've seen possession movies. We've seen haunted houses movies done time and time and time again. It's all been done before. It's just Ryan Murphy's view of it. That's all. Just like Stephen King. Well, Stephen King's original now. I'm sorry. That's one master of fucking horror. That guy to this day can make original shit. But I'm just saying it's Ryan Murphy's view of his idea of a haunted house. You know. That's all it is. You know, it's a lot of this shit when it comes to horror, it's been done before. You know, you have the original The Exorcist, and then we've seen it duplicated so many times. You know, so many times over and over. You got fucking Exorcism of Emily Rose. You got numerous fucking rip-off movies of fucking The Exorcist. I mean, come on. You know, you got Stigmata, if you ever saw that. That was a really good movie. But I mean, the possession has for a while there, they didn't mess with the possession type movies. You know, they had The Exorcist is there for a while, and then you know they ran through its course with all the other genres like vampires and all that. And then all of a sudden, to me, it seemed like what was it, mid '90s or late '90s, they started getting into doing possession shit, like really getting into it, where they just burnt that the fuck out. But that's how it is. It's just, this is Ryan Murphy's view of this stuff that's going on. I don't think it's really that original. You know, you got witches, you got some lady running around with a cleaver killing people. I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff like that. But I like it. I have to say, this season is fucking great. And this episode, I would have to give, I believe I'm going to go with a 9. I actually liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I think it deserves that score. I think the show, even though I like last week's better, I see it from both sides. If I could see somebody liking this episode better. So it's not like, to me, it progressed, but I can see the show's, it's holding its momentum. That's what I want to say. I want to go with that. It held its momentum from last episode to this episode. Definitely. I thought it was a very good episode, very well done. It had some creepy parts in it, you know. I didn't find it, you know, when you watch an episode and you're sitting there from start to finish and you go, damn, it's over already, that was a good episode in my book. That was good. When it's over already, and it's an hour long, you know, like any other episode, but you could watch some shows and you're like, when the fuck's this going to end? This is fucking horrible. That's a bad show. That's a bad episode. You know, I didn't feel that with any of these episodes for this show. This show's fucking great. I love it. I think it's one of the best seasons so far in American Horror Story. If it keeps this up, like one of the best. Keyword, one of the best. The best is still going to be Asylum in my book, and I like Coven. I don't think this will beat those, but I think it could come in third place for me. Just saying. But that's my review, guys. Sorry about how the filming's going to go, but this is how I keep up my reviews. I won't have the intro probably in the beginning because I'm going to be doing this from my tablet till this fucking thing gets fixed. So, I don't know. Come on, Microsoft. Fix your fucking shit. I hate Windows 10. I mean, I like it, but every time they update it, it fucks with something. It's just, I hate updates in general. Updates always ruin, they fix something and then ruin something else. That's all it does. That's a fucking update. It's never really, it fixes the problem, but starts a new one. Go figure. But that's my review, guys. Tell me what you think of American Horror Story, my Roanoke Nightmare this week. It was called Chapter 3. Very enjoyable. Tell me in the comment section more videos to come. Later, YouTube.